Let me take a little quick sip. Chatty getting a bit too chit-chatty. Let's get chatty in the comments, okay, guys, after we hear this. Are y'all mature enough to date someone who is paralyzed? Welcome back to another episode of Chatty Chit Chats with your girl, Chatty. This is the podcast where, let me remind you, where we discuss everything relationships, everything situationships, everything bumping, grinding, okay? We discuss all kinds of relationships, especially the romantic relationships, okay? But we discuss everything on this podcast as far as relationship connections and things like that. And on these solo episodes, when you guys see me sitting here, I will be going through Twitter, and I've bookmarked lots of different conversations that are happening on social media about these topics. So we're going to go through them and let's get right into it, okay? The first question is a little bit controversial, so we are going to talk about this. And I'm first going to share my opinion, as I do always. I share my opinion first, and then I'll go through the comments and see what people are saying and kind of discuss how I feel about it. Are y'all mature enough to date someone who is paralyzed? How do we feel about this question, guys? When I saw the question, I was like, I felt a little bit of uncomfortability. However, there's paralyzed people in the world that are trying to date. So this conversation is not a bad one. And this is actually great, because there are people who are in situations where they don't have use of their body parts, certain body parts, or their entire body, but they are still looking to connect with people. And I feel like there are lots of people in this world who are literally only looking for connections. Like I do live streams on my TikTok, and I literally had somebody who came in my live and was asking me about what it means to not be attracted to anyone sexually and to just want emotional connection only. And there's a lot of asexual, I believe is what the term is. So there's a lot of asexual people, which, okay, it doesn't mean that just because you're asexual, you would want to have, that kind of responsibility, I guess, let's say, because being with somebody who is paralyzed, there will be responsibilities. We've talked about this in a one recent episode where we talked about having the responsibility of dating someone who has like trauma, PTSD from things in the past, or is triggered easily, or has emotional depression, things like that. And how much of a responsibility that is. This is the same type of thing. Dating someone who has any sort of disability or disease, issue, whatever it is, challenge, past, trauma, things like that, you're going to have a responsibility. And this is just the same thing as that. I feel like if you know that you are open to, dating all sorts of people in these kind of positions as well, I feel like it's just important to know that you're walking into something where someone needs more support. And if you're going to be their person, then they're going to be expecting some sort of support from you, whether it's emotional, physical, whatever, financial, you never know. So I just think you have to be very careful if you are going to do this, because those people are already going through a lot, and you need to make sure that you guys are having communication and conversations about what kind of support they would need from you, what that would look like. But yeah, I think that the maturity, like if somebody wants to date them, maturity is going to play a huge part. You need to be mature. We can't have somebody very immature running around here trying to date people who are already going through a lot. We don't need to be adding more to nobody's plate. Okay, let's see what they said. I'm just going to read the positive, like the comments that are making sense and not disrespectful. Twitter can be so disrespectful, guys. It said, okay, it's not even about being mature. I have no interest. Okay, being honest, that's great. That's exactly what you should do. I feel like there's also people that show interest into those kind of people because they're easier to take advantage of. Those are the kind of people that are really looking for love when they are looking for it. And so a lot of people take advantage of that. And I think that's really sad. So make sure that if you're going into it, you guys are having conversations and you know that this is something that you really want to try and you're really going to put the proper effort into. So somebody said it has nothing to do with the person and everything to do with the responsibility of it. Like taking care of them and then having kids on top of it. It would be a lot. No lie. It would be. It would be a lot. But think about it. Put yourself in the situation. Like if you were paralyzed and you were looking for love, what would you expect? What would you want from someone? And I think that's the best way to kind of go into a situation like this if you are. The reason I wanted to talk about it because I feel like these kind of conversations are very important. They don't happen. We don't hear anybody talking about paraplegics dating or people that are in very have serious diseases that are lifelong, like you still live with it but they still want to have a life. Like how are they dating? How does that look for them? How does it look for the person dating them, you know? Do I give his mother flowers? So do I give, let's not say hey, let's keep the genders. I always try to keep gender out unless it's completely necessary because I feel like a lot of these go towards pretty much any couple, any relationship. Do I give his mother flowers? For me, I think it's a nice gesture. I think why not? I think it's a really good way to put like a first, what is it called? Like a first look. What is this thing called? What's that word they say? The first, I'm sure y'all are thinking of it. Y'all are saying it. But yeah, like the way that you first meet somebody, the way that you want to represent yourself the first time, I think is like as a kind person. And giving a gift is always a very kind gesture, very sweet. You don't have to. I think going in with really good energy and being kind and sweet and, respectful is enough of a gift. And, I think you don't have to. But if you can afford to and you would like to, that's just a bonus. And I think that's just another check for you on their list. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to, but you I think why not? She said the reason she asked this question, she said, I think I'm overdoing it. This is the first time I met a man's mother before, and it's the first time he's bringing a girl home. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to bring flowers, but I feel like it's a good gesture. Someone said, girl, no, if anything, he needs to bring your mama some flowers. I think I don't agree with that. I feel like he can bring your parents flowers when he meets your parents. He can do the same thing. He can have a sweet gesture. But we're talking about you and what you want to do right now. And it's something that came up in your heart to do. And I feel like, why not? What is doing too much? Flowers is not doing too much. It's not like you bringing them a whole car and freaking paying their rent. You know what I'm saying? Unless his family's nice, because sometimes they're rude on the low. Okay, but you wouldn't know if they're rude until you meet them. So I don't know. Someone said I met the mother on Christmas and I gave her a $300 bag. I don't see anything wrong with it if you can afford it, if your heart is telling you to do that, and if you have good energy in your relationship and you've heard your partner speak good about their parents. Girl, boy, what's the problem? Like, y'all be thinking too much, and we need to be a little bit kinder and nicer. If you can afford it, why not? And again, for those that can afford it, nobody's saying you need to go spend your coins. Save your coins. Like I said, be respectful, kind, and, creating conversation and getting to know them is going to be the key. At the end of the day, it's not going to be about the gifts. That's just a bonus and added accessory to you. Someone said, why is it so hard for a man to believe that you only want him? Okay, and the first response I already see is that he doesn't only want you. I agree with that, but only depending on the situation. Like, obviously, we need more context in this relationship as to why she's feeling he doesn't believe that you only want him. I think there could be other factors. I feel like it could also be that this man is just maybe insecure, maybe has been hurt in the past, maybe has been cheated on, maybe he has had somebody who has, actually breached their relationship or actually really hurt him, or he has seen his parents, maybe he's seen, his mother cheat on his father, or he's seen something in his, journey along the way that has him feeling like it's hard for him to believe that, you're really only loving him. So I think with this situation, it could be either or. So if he's showing red flags, obviously, if he's showing that he has cheating tendencies or he's doing something on the side, that's a different story, right? Then he's projecting. But if he's not doing anything that you feel and you don't understand, and I also want to know what is making you feel like he doesn't believe that you only want him. Is he making comments that make you feel like that? Like, is he saying stuff like, yeah, you probably, you could probably find somebody better, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you deserve more, like stuff like that. Is he saying stuff that makes you feel like that? And if he is, then it could be just, like I said, insecurity. Also, maybe he could feel like you're out of his league. and he could feel like, he doesn't deserve to have you. Maybe you just need to do a little bit more of reassuring him that he's what you want. Maybe he just needs that. And at the end of the day, that kind of work comes in a relationship when you love someone. If you really love this guy, you feel like he's a good guy, he's worth it, and you really do only want him, you need to make sure he really feels that. And that's going to be about part of the responsibility of being with this person, because this person has some kind of insecurities, right? Again, just like the conversation we had before, responsibility of dating someone who has different things, different issues, challenges, insecurities, confidence issues, whatever it is, self-worth issues. So all those things are going to be things that are going to play into the way he behaves in your relationship, the comments he makes, things like that. So sometimes it's just about literally reassuring your partner, and as much as they might need. But obviously, if that feels like it's too much for you, or it becomes stressful for you, then that's somewhere you're going to have to make a decision to have a real serious conversation about them getting some type of help or changing their behavior, because this is not going to last if this is how you're making me feel. Like, you're making me feel like I'm going to leave you. I'm going to do something. And I think in this case, where if you're dating somebody who is, and this goes for all genders, all relationships, if you're dating someone who doesn't believe that you only want to be with them, and is making comments about that, or you can tell based off of things that they say, or questions they ask you, or whatever. I think if there's no red flags, I think it's just another conversation. It's about reassuring them. It's about finding out what they've been through to make them even believe that. And if you want to continue a relationship and to really be committed to this person, to understand that this is just something that you may have to put a little bit more effort into, as far as like, playing the parts that they need to feel more secure. But if it does, like I said, again, it's not baggage that is your responsibility. So if you don't want to build with this person, then that is something that you would have to let them know that, if you want to build with this person, but that that's something you don't want to be responsible for, that's going to be another conversation. And that's probably going to require you telling them, like, they need to go do individual work, because it's affecting your relationship. So are you guys loyal in the talking stage? So are y'all loyal in the talking stage? So talking stage is like just the getting to know each other. Just gave you my number. We've been talking for a couple weeks, getting to know each other, questioning each other, but we're still not official. In that stage, are you loyal? I personally don't think, I feel like if you're dating, like, you're dating until you guys choose to be exclusive. I feel like we didn't have a conversation about that. Like, I could be talking to you, Tim and Jim, and trying to figure out who is giving me the best energy and and that's actually how I feel like lover girls should date. And that brings me to a whole topic, which I'm about to get into. I feel like lover girls that are lover girls who wear their hearts on their sleeves, fall in love very easily. In the dating phase, you need to be dating multiple people, okay? No matter heterosexual, gay, whatever it is, dating multiple people is going to save you. And I'm not talking about having sex, guys. I'm not talking about giving up your body unless that's what you want to do. And if that's what you want to do with multiple people, that's fine. Your body, do what you want. However, my advice to you is protect yourself, number one, and keep it quiet. Everybody don't need to know your business. I think that's where people go wrong, is like, why are you telling your friends that you done slept with Tom, Dick, and Harry in one night? Like, not everybody's your friend, and not everybody thinks the same, believes the same, or would do the same. So there are judgmental people out here. So let's just keep our business to ourselves. We're grown. Nobody needs to know your business. However, when you're dating, that's not what I'm promoting. I'm not promoting girls going out and sleeping with multiple guys. I'm promoting women who are lover girls, who know they fall in love easy, like how I was, especially when I first started dating. I've been married now for 10 years now. So I haven't dated for a while. But when I was in my dating stages, I used to fall in love very, very quickly and give everything, like all of myself, so quickly. And a lot of times I would get hurt because I didn't really know these people. And so for me, what worked is dating multiple people, because at that time, it's very hard for me. I'm a one lane person. So I'm unable to really put 100% into all these different guys that I'm getting to know. And at some point, the list is gonna get smaller because, as red flags start popping out, we start removing people off the list, and it's gonna boil down to that one last person, and that's who I would end up putting my time in while I was doing all this talking, getting to know them, and all that stuff. So do the capacity that you can manage, because also for some people, this wouldn't work because they don't have the capacity to remember things about this person or to remember this, or they just feel like it's not genuine connections they're building in that way. But for me, I just think it's the best way for people who fall in love very easy. And I said lover girl, but it could be lover man too. If you're a lover guy and you know that you fall in love super easy and you always get hurt because you fall in love quicker than you should be, and then you find out things about the person later that you're like, it's not compatible or it could never work. That's painful. So, I think it's you at the end of the day, you'll never really know, who you're dating. You can always get hurt by someone. Somebody could always show you their true colors years later after you fell in love. That could happen. But I think a way to have like a precaution, like a cautionary act for it to kind of like protect yourself a little bit to hold back from falling in love so quick is to, yeah, when you're in that dating phase, get to know more than one guy, get to know more than one girl at a time. And I think then from there, once you start, and make sure that you're honest, like you don't need to go, telling each person like, yeah, I'm talking to other people. But if somebody asks you out of those people, like, hey, am I the only one that you talk to? If you're not exclusive with them, then yeah, which we're not. No, you're not the only person I'm talking to. I'm getting to know a few people, but I really like you and I'm loving where things are going. And, I would love to talk about exclusivity at some point, once we've gotten to know each other a little bit more. And then once we're at that point, it would be exclusive and I would only be talking to you. You guys can also have conversations about what's going on sexually. Are you giving your body to somebody else? Because in the talking stage, some people are actually having sex. So those are things to consider. Those are things to think about. I think that being loyal in the talking stage it could be different things for different people. But I think that depending on how your personality is and how you quickly fall in love and stuff like that, that's when you should be doing like more multiple dating when you're in you're single and you're in the dating phase. Also so that you're not left hanging. Like when you're dating people, you really don't know where they are in their life. And I could meet Tom tonight and like, okay, I don't have nobody else on my roster. I met Tom. Now I'm talking to Tom, giving Tom all my energy. We up till 3 a.m. on the phone, talking, doing our thing every night. Then Tom meets Sally and Tom's like, you know what? Sally's cooler. I'm talking to Sally all night. Now I don't have nobody else to fall back on. And you weren't even my man you weren't even my man. So yeah, keep your options open and, do what works best for you. But being honest, I think, is what is the loyalness in the talking stage. It's like, yeah, I am talking to other people. I'm keeping my options open. And that's just what it is right now. And I'm sure you're doing the same. You know what I'm saying? And until we just agree together to have that conversation, that's just what it is. And you guys can also include like, okay, I just want to know if you're having sex with other people because you're having sex with me, if that's what you guys are doing. And those things can be, discussed as well. But I'm going to leave it. I'm going to end it at that because that was a really good conversation. I enjoyed that question a lot. But I'm about to get up out of here. I'm about to head out. So you guys, love and light. Thank you for joining me this episode. Make sure you guys comment down below how you feel about the questions. Answer them yourself. Throw some questions that you want to see me answer. You may be featured on the podcast anonymously, you guys. So drop the comments down below and make sure you guys like, subscribe, share everything in this video. Until the next video, I will see y'all. Bye.